Hello and welcome to the 12th episode of our Humanity Faith first playthrough. And in this episode we are going to finally start building ships. Our shipyard is running here. We still have a little bit of an energy problem here, which we can only solve when we get the agriculture complex, which is something we are aiming for. However, we are also getting more mining going, so that's good. We still are out of mass because we got kicked out of there. We do have the plans to take over Mercury when we can, soonish. And until then, it's more or less progressing and getting the faction projects done. I queued up the ultraviolet phaser cannon now as well, so that we can push these two through. Actually, I think it's faster if we focus on this one first, and then we can switch focus fully into the second one and then finish the drive alongside it. These are of course the ones we want. And in between episodes I also went through our counselors here and invested the experience point they had and shifted some orcs around so that we have a good distribution again of our stats and like what they currently have, and I did some espionage when possible, so that we are a bit safer in the future. So when they try to capture us, especially when we go to total war and the protectorate and servants will even harder go after us.
Laying the ground.
That's also why we are going to do a little bit of a corporate round after this mission phase here, because we are more or less discovered by everyone. We also lost our spies in the protectorate and the servants, but I think that's fine for the moment. I'm not too worried about that because we don't necessarily need to do anything right now. Later on we definitely want to break China, but that's still a while away. We could consider to shift maybe Sam over here again, so that we continue destabilizing China from the cohesion and the public opinion, so that they continue to have troubles here, because they have to use counselors to counteract that. But that's not a hurry here, because China is pretty screwed up by them. And yeah, so that's not too terrible. On our side here, we do have problems with population growth now. We are at -1% per year, which is very much, which is dropping our knowledge score quickly. We can see that population loss has already accrued -2.1 over the whole campaign, which is only 13 years. So that's a lot. So we actually only went up 5 points for 5.1, but we invested for 7.2 because the rest was lost from population growth. The only thing we can do to counteract population growth is actually pushing GDP up, which we are doing more or less currently. We're doing a little bit of boost until we are at 5, and then we go back into economy again. But this will not counteract -1% growth. That's not possible here. Yeah, we are not going to fix that. So let's just speed forward and get the ship projects done, and then we can talk about ships. Okay, and here we are. We have reached the Hellion Nova Lantern, our first proper fusion drive, which we can use for whatever we want to do. So, now the big question is, how do we continue from here? We're eventually going to need the command center though, to put that onto our station that we have, for example, later on Mercury, for example, which will cost us a lot of money though, but we can... Oh, it's 5. Wow, that's really expensive. And 10 10 volatiles that we don't have. But yeah, so that's things for the future. We can now consider what we want to focus first. And there are a lot of things we might get out of the way. Like we want to get some of these projects against the aliens so that they don't do anything. We probably want to get exotic armor and neutron containment out of the way so that we can get into the hybrid armor in case we get rich in exotics eventually. But we also want the civilian fusion reactors here and the Climate Institute for later. Probably unlock the African Union for the AI and these projects as well, manufacturing complex for Mercury as well. So actually let's start with the civilian fusion reactors because that's useful. And we are going to... Oh, this one finishes actually. So we go into minded machines and the administration algorithms. So, but now we can talk about the ship design. We already had some designs. Where are you? So the colonizer class, let's start with that one. No, not build them. Upgrade it. Because now we can have the... Actually, let's auto design. What? Why would you put a rocket on there? Game, what's going on? So we now have the lantern here. And we can get rid of all the other stuff. We never researched any other drives, so that's what we started with. And then, of course, we need the power plant here. Tech 3. There we go. And we don't want a weapon. We just want 2 fusion outpost kits here. Of course, we could have done the same with any other kind of ion drive if we wanted to. But, well, yeah. So, 1.2 Gs, 23.1 milli-Gs cruise acceleration. So the question is, do we need 66.8 kps to get to Mercury? And now we would... Origin would be our... Where are you? Ah, it's this station here, the shipyard. On L4, and we go to Mercury low orbit. So 18 weeks travel time is the go-to currently. If we go lighter on the fuel, it marginally goes up. So need 24 is the minimum. So we could save a lot of stuff actually if we just reduce the fuel here. 20.8 weeks, I think that's fine. Costs mostly when... So the costs in volatiles don't matter. So they don't, I mean, they don't go up here. So we can actually do like, I don't know, 6 propellant tanks here. I think that's fine. And... Actually, do we need... We could also make a station in low orbit with a construction module and then just land all 9 bases from there. The construction module should allow that, right? So if we go to something here, look at the tier 1 modules and the construction module here. Accelerate construction module at the hub and allows founding additional platform outputs in this planetary asteroid system. Okay, so we don't need to bring these many... So actually we can get rid of that class and we make a new one. So we don't even need 2 of these. Actually we could... We can just put something else in there. We could put a booster module in there. So we put a station platform kit there. And then we put... Do we have it already? ECM, component armor, muon spiker. Here we go. And we don't have an upgrade to this one yet. I think that's the neutronium spiker, which is a 30k tech, which is a bit much. Can use hydrogen, not higher action project as propellant. A nuclear fusion drive. Okay, so we can put this one on. Oh yeah, we can put this one on, but we could also put this one on. Interesting. So we could have both. So we have a station platform kit. We do have the muon spiker on there. And we don't need a battery. And then we just... Yeah, the costs are even lower now, so we could reduce fuel even further, but we can stay at 5, so we are below 20 weeks. Then we just make 1 ship. So safe design, that's our Mercury base. So, safe design. And we're going to build this one. Because we only have that shipyard available, and we only need one of those, and then we can just speed that to Mercury itself. And now we go back to the battleships here. Upgrade. So first of all, these two can, of course, this has to be reduced. Now we are not aiming for a battleship that can go to Jupiter or anything. We want a battleship. You can't auto design here apparently. Okay, all of this. Let's remove all of this for the moment here. We want a good drive, so our new Hellion Lantern drive. We put that 6 times in there. As a power plant, of course, it's only this one, and we can already obsolete the other ones here. Radiator. Tin droplet is probably the best we can use currently. What? Hey, why did my... we already have it here. Okay. And... so armor we are going to investigate later. Ooh, it's already getting expensive. Actually, do we want to use a battleship? Wait a second, we should... clear design. What else do we have available? We have a Dreadnought. And a Lancer. And the Lancer can have the 4-slot front weapon. Oh god, I've never obsoleted all that stuff that we don't need. Oh god. So this one can go. What's that? Green arc. We don't... no. So here we are with the phasers, yes. These are the phasers. This is a light coil cannon. Coil cannons. Okay, these are all the cannons. The coils, I mean, spinal coilers, and then the heavy siege coilers, yes. And spinal siege coilers. Okay, so I think we are looking at the Lancer here, because then we have a 4... or do we? Dreadnought would have a 3-slot. Okay, what do we want to build? Do we want to build a laser ship? Or do we want to build a coil ship? We don't have the Titans yet. This has a 3-slot front, 4-slot front, but only 3 hard points. This one has 8 hard points, but only 3-slot front. Okay, let's make this one... let's make this one a coil ship. Oh, we don't have exotics for coils. Right, there was something I forgot about. Yes. So we need exotics for the Mk3 coil guns, which I really want to use here. So we are not going to make a coil ship as of yet. On the other hand, how do we get exotics? Ooh, even the phasers need exotics. Maybe something wasn't thought through here. Okay, so we have to build an Mk2 coil ship. In this case, we don't want a siege coiler actually. So we go with the Dreadnought here. And we put this one there. So, and then we have hard points for the hull weapons. I also have to sort out stuff here. That's the coil batteries, that's good. These are the phasers, which need exotics, so we have to be careful. Okay, the point defense phasers do not need that. Not exotic, so that's good. Which means we can ignore them. Not ignore, we can use them. So here we can obsolete version 1, 2. Oh no, we can't. Should have thought about that. But we are not going to use version 1s here. So we can't use the phasers as of yet, but we still need point defenses here. And actually we are going to need a lot of those. Because we don't want to take damage at all. Which means we are going to put there some coil guns behind that. Like this. It's not super mobile, but it's not super nice, but it will shoot down any projectile flying towards us. So that's something, and now let's start designing the rest. So we do the drive here. We do the power plant, we do the radiator, and we also want a battery here just in case. We also want a heatsink just in case. We don't want a heavy one though. So something simple. Potassium. What do we have most? I think water is fine, so we do just a normal water. Yeah, just one, a simple heat. Because we're using coils, we definitely need the targeting computer. We want the ECM, definitely. We don't need the laser engines here. We also don't need a magazine. We probably want on these ships the component armor. We also want the repair bay here. And I think we also want the salvage bay on our first ships. This means that we are not going to have a flagship yet. So we need to design a flagship as well. But we're also not going to have the hydrogen containment storage. So what could we exchange for this? We could skip a bit battery, of course. Wow, 3.5k metal. Okay, we can check this out in a second. We don't need super much KPS. Yeah, we're already at 20. So this is totally fine, actually. We just want weapons, flying weapons here. Yeah, I think we are going to make one ship design with a flagship module. Salvage base. Component armor. This looks great. The thing is, if we skip a battery and heat sink, which would mean that we always run out of the radiator, and if we get damage to the generator here, the fusion reactor, then our ship is toast. We could do this, of course. Skip the heat sink. So this is risky. We could also skip the battery. Could also skip the battery to add in. That doesn't work. We can only have one of those. No, we don't need the flagship on here. Laser engine would boost up our point defenses, which only have 20 megajoules, so that actually maybe makes sense. So we have stronger point defenses here. Okay, now we need still to get some armor going. We need at least like 10 front armor here. I think we need 5 in the back, 3 on the side. That's a minimum. 16 KPS. We can always go up in propellants later. Propellant tanks. This is just guns. Let's do 5, 15, something like this. 10 milli Gs, 15 KPS. Okay, maybe we go up to like 10. Then we have 600 volatiles. It's a lot. We can only make 4 of these ships then. But that would be enough. We need 5 ships so that we can get the maximum bonus of salvage here. And 4 ships. We're also getting officers, which could increase the salvage. So this 16 mission control. I think I'm leaning towards trying this and then making another ship for the flagship. Yeah, I think that's going to be our gunboat. So save the design. And the whip thing can go. And we do have 4 slots available. 274 days. Let's make it. And then I will design a flagship and put that here behind the Mercury gunship, and I'm going to send the gunship towards Mercury. I think that's a good plan now. So yeah, let's skip forward because I think I need to get some volatiles for the flagship from somewhere. So I have to trade with someone. So I have to find an agent where we can trade. But yeah, that's going to be our first ships. Okay, here we are in April already, and I'm trying to get as many resources out of the Exodus as we can currently. They have a lot of water and a lot of volatiles, which is fixing our problems. However, we are investing a lot of money into this. So we are now pretty much broke. Meanwhile, I noticed that I cannot send my ship to Mercury, so I had to do the global project mission to Mercury, which I did, and now I was able to send the ship. Also, the aliens are coming to my shipyard, so that's a problem. They will arrive in July, I think. And I'm trying to get rid of the 8-inch gun battery, which is still there. And I somehow can't. I have really upgraded and researched a lot of weapons here, and I'm really not sure which ones I could still do and getting them. So I have no idea. I've done the phaser batteries for green and infrared. I have done some cannons. I have done different other things. I have even researched railgun batteries. They also don't help. So I'm really confused in what would help here. I mean, I can still do the green laser batteries here. I don't think it will help at all, but I am confused here currently as to what could be done here. So I really have no idea because I more or less researched all weapons that I can now. I even researched the plasma, not plasma, but the how are they called? Particle beams and particle lances here in between, because I was hoping that would help, and it doesn't. So I don't know what will upgrade them. I'm really confused, or maybe it's a bug, I don't know. It's definitely weird now. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything I can do. I mean, these layered defense arrays here, they use phasers, so they are up to date, but for whatever reason the battle stations don't. And the aliens are here coming towards my station. Let's sort by arrival time. It already is sorted by that. Here. No idea what that fleet symbol is representing, but they are sending a very, very big fleet to my shipyard, and they are arriving in July. So I don't know. I just have five battle stations now. Question is, are the ships going to finish beforehand? Actually, they might not. Oh, come on, really? They don't finish in time? Oh, that would be annoying. Because 120 days is 4 months, and 4 months is August. So, and this arrives in July already. Wow. And I don't think that I can shoot down all of this, even with 5 battle stations. Nope, I don't think so. I mean, I could try to... That's a bit too late now. July, it's May, June, June? No, it's early July. So even if I make layered defense arrays now, it wouldn't matter anymore. I mean, I would need to remove the farms here, but... Yes, I don't know. We can try to make more technologies and see if anything helps with that last slot, which is for some reason still an 8-inch gun. But yeah, I don't think so. But I will try. And then we can watch that battle. Okay, here we are. And in July, I've set up my agents. And now let's see what the battle with the station and the alien fleet will result into. At the looks of it, they want to attack me.
Offering counsel.
We are going, meanwhile, we're going to...
Your petty acts of violence are of no consequence.
Get some stuff from them. How much do they want? 2,000? 2,500 maybe? Yeah. Yeah, let's take this. I think that's a good idea. Can't hurt to have more volatiles here. Wow. Resistance stealing from. So we have to go to ground again. Because they are somewhere. And we are boosting through some projects here. Which might be useful. So for example, this one should be a good idea. But we already have a military project ongoing. So let's get some small ones out of the way. However, after independent commands and algorithmic extraction management, which is going to give us plus 10% mining output, we are going to push global tax again. So actually we're going to do it like this. I want these two out of the way and then we push into better drives and so on. However, for now we have to fight the battle here. Oh, we got a new economic region in Colombo down there. That's good. So we went up a bit here in the investment points, and Medan is going to be the next, which is already at 400. That's
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
More or less, that's the only thing we can do, and we are almost reaching the 30k GDP, which is good. Wow, they're pushing hard against us. So here we got 30k. Nice. And there's the alien fleet. Let's see what it does.
By the numbers.
Will it fight me? It's just sitting there, waiting. Worryingly. Menacingly. I don't know. So that's interesting. So apparently they didn't want to fight me. Which is good. I mean, that's really good. Because I don't want to lose my shipyard. However, we will not be able to defeat all those ships with just the ones we got. I mean, that's 53 ships sitting at our doorstep. And these are, yeah, the laser cannons, so they even have lasers on top, which is super annoying.
Standing by for orders.
But yeah, what should we do, right?
Taking it to them.
Meanwhile, we have again broken into the Protectorate and the Servants, which, as we can see here, they have a lot of spies in other factions as well, which means we can see everything. The exceptions is the Resistance. I think we should talk to them, actually.
Reaching out.
And yeah, so now we just raid.
Offering support.
They are tolerant here.
Making contact.
And actually,
we wish that you would see your extremism harms the very people we're trying to protect.
We can, because they are, of course. Hopefully, they will help us eventually. Let's get whatever we can from them in exchange. Do they have projects that we don't? No. So we are just going to bribe them here, so that they can get better ships and so on. Meanwhile, we do have 23.6k science. It's fluctuating a bit depending on our unity here. And GDP, of course, is now hitting nicely. That's really good.
We've moved the needle.
We're still investing a little bit into everything, but mostly they are pushing hard against us currently, which is super annoying.
The LC is secure.
But the higher GDP, as we can see, is almost dropping us below 1% growth now. So it's going up slowly, but I mean down the negative growth, but still something. But yeah, what now? We also have to stop investing into knowledge soon, and we probably go into mission control afterwards. Just to get more stuff up, but yeah, the question is when is the right point? Because we have still a lot of science ahead of us to do, but we also already achieved a lot. Why is this one not named 5 times live? I don't know. So now this one is done. So yeah, the fleet will come out soon, and then we have to see what is happening in detail here. Do we actually have to fight this fleet? No, it disappeared. Okay, so somewhere that fleet went. And that's good. But the thing is that whatever we do soonish with that fleet, they will not like us for it. And this means they could go after our asteroid bases afterwards, which would pose serious problems. So what we have to consider now is, do we maybe want to fortify them? So for which we probably want to... they are all very expensive currently. Which means we have to do colony hubs in one of the projects afterwards, here. Which means I probably should boost up... Actually, this one has almost double the research bonus. Which means that 20,000 that we 24,000 that we invest here would be 48,000 here. Which would almost finish that project. So probably we want to just boost anionic fusion because that's our long-term goal, which we really, really need. And this one will be useful. Actually, we can trim down here. And we're just going to boost through this. Of course, we are going to get, with the project, 15% less command points, mission control points. So we are not going to get 20. One is already finished. So we are only going to get, well, 17.5, which is a small difference, but it might be the difference which puts us at war with everyone, or at least the aliens here. If we look at resources, we can see the problem here. There are only some factions which are higher in control points. Mostly initiative and servants, but servants are of course allied to the aliens. And mission control wise, they are all pretty bad off here. So that's a problem. Ooh, these servants have 110 exotics. Wow. Maybe we should hunt servants fleet instead. I mean, how much do they have here, actually? They have a small ship here. Have a large ship here. A few ships here. And the aliens have a lot of ships here. So this is of course a big problem. The Protectorate we could also defeat. Probably we go after the Protectorate. I think that's a good idea to just remove fleets from the orbit and free up stuff here. And yeah. The alien armies, however, are still stuck here in the European Union. There are 9 units here. And I think there are others somewhere around. I'm not sure where exactly currently. But let's see. One is in Cairo apparently. Okay, they are fighting currently here. Beijing's one. That's one they land down here. Mali's one. So they're doing stuff here, but they're probably going to get defeated here by 3 armies. Yeah, probably. They're probably going to get defeated here. At least that 1 army. Yes, that's going to be a problem long term. But let's see where it will lead to. We also have an alien facility here. Actually, we could investigate this. We could take this one out. Yes, we could take this out. But this would generate hate, which we shouldn't risk until our fleet is done. So that we have something to defend with. So we are going to wait a bit. And then see what we can do with it. So let's speed forward until the fleet is done. Well, a few things have happened in the few days between we just skipped. And they didn't change to the better. So, the aliens annexed China peacefully. So apparently the servants were able to already put everywhere the necessary abductions and everything accordingly so that they can flip it to the alien administration. Now this is posing a big problem because also they put us as a rival now, which means they're going to declare war pretty much soonish now. We already can see that they are at war with a multitude of nations. However, the good thing is still that 9 armies here are trapped in Switzerland. And there's 1 army here in Cairo. Oh no, that's Sinai. No, that's Cairo. Cairo. Just fighting them. But the problem will be that there are a few normal armies from China, which they got annexed now. Probably moving into our territory as soon as the war declaration is through. And oh, they don't have nukes. Ah, that was a change. That's a very good new change there. Yeah. So this is going to be fun because we are going to have to defend our home territory, depending on where they will move towards us. That will be nice to see. It also opens up the possibility for us to actually reclaim, for example, these 2 states here for Barat itself and Kunming. So that's not a lot, but something which we can do. And also we can actually consider to force a coup d'etat, which means we would increase unrest here now. Which also means that we are going to change the technology here. Actually, we are going to push these 3 here through, and then we are going to take the freedom fighters, because then we can cause a split of nations here from, for example, China. That's going to be worth it. But yeah, this is let's call it interesting. And
ready to go.
Our campaign will be decided on the next few months, probably. So we still need to keep this one going.
Orders?
No, not 70%. That's not enough.
I will try.
Yeah, also we have a problem on our new frontier that we opened up. Let's see, what do we do here? Not sure. Can we? No, he can't. But we can decrease unrest here.
We'll turn down the heat.
So the thing that is happening currently is pretty simple. We have made the station around Mercury as we planned. We can also see that the initiative has also done a station here now. And we are going into construction module and point defense array. However, there is already an alien fleet flying towards us. And most likely that one is going to aim for us and not for the initiative. So here, transferring to low orbit in 16th of September, so in 1 month they are going to arrive already. It's just a destroyer that's enough to take us out, so we don't really stand a chance there. I mean, we can check Salamanca station here. This one is going to finish in 2nd of September actually, 2nd of September. This one provide enough energy for both. Yeah, okay, we can make one minor change here. We can 15th of September, that should be in time, right? Yes, 1 day. Ooh, that was close. So we do have two point defense arrays there. They are still pretty bad, but at least we have something which we can work with. So that's hopefully something we can do. And yeah, now we go back into this here and see what happens now, because I do expect that we are going to get a war declaration within the next
lending my expertise
month, probably. Maybe they wait a little bit longer because of the cohesion hit they get. And yeah, permanent, please. There we go. That's our fleet. Our fleet is ready to rumble. And with that, let's call it fleet number 1. So they probably won't like this. Anyone won't like it. So for the moment we are going to just wait a bit. I think that we're all ships under construction, right? Yes, all of them are done. And let's wait for like a week or something.
My expertise.
If anyone comes flying towards us immediately, like an alien fleet, or not. What we can check already is what we could do here. So we know that if we go to, for example, like this one here. Oh, those are fleets. So Tiangong Station. 2 days. Can stretch it a bit to save fuel. Probably makes sense. 6.4 days. It's not a lot. So we could do this and provoke a fight with the Protectorate. What I also would like to do is probably rather go here. So this would really take not a lot of fuel. We can, yeah, like this. Probably we're going to do this one here for a week of time. Take out the servants first. Oh, this nano factory, so that's a really strong station actually. Do we want to? We don't want extreme Earth orbit. But Yangon Station, for example, would be something we could maybe take over with Marines, but I'm not sure. There are also alien fleets here. At Luna is a fleet. Just at... Oh, at not. Okay. Oh, they are at the station. Oh, there is a alien observation post. I mean, we could go for this one, though. The question is, can we get through a Dreadnought and 3 destroyers? 1.7k. We have 360. But we have super duper weapons. Ooh, I'm leaning towards doing this. I'm really leaning towards doing this. What else do we have here? We do have an alien fleet at L3. There's also a station. Ah, this has 3-layered defense arrays already, and alien garrison, and a surveillance array. And these ones, we don't know what they pack. Okay, I think we go for the weaker one first. Oh, it's a battleship and 3 destroyers. Yeah, we are going to wait for like 2-3 weeks before we jump the gun here, because we want to see what happens in detail. Shipyard here, we still didn't figure out why the 8-inch gun battery is still there. It still doesn't upgrade for whatever reason, we don't know. But we don't care anymore. So we do have 1 slot available here. We are still waiting for the agriculture complex, which is still not available yet, but we are working on that. So I think it's behind Accelerando actually. Not sure. Let's see. So, agriculture complex. It requires designer life forms. That requires transform phages. Okay, so that's predictive genetics. Okay, so that's a path we didn't take at all yet, because it's not that important to have that. And then designer life forms. Yeah, this one would be a nice tech though. And then we go into... Oh, singleton would also be a very good idea. Later. Yeah, it's still a lot of stuff to research though. And we don't have enough science output yet. Even though we do have 23.6k. We are still slow. In my opinion, we are slow. But let's see. We are going to wait for 1 or 2 mission phases, and then we are going to spring the trap. Because I need to know what happens here on Earth, and before I do something in space, which we regret then. So, let's just skip 2 weeks, 2 mission phases more or less. Well, we are in October. I progressed a little bit to see what happens, and a few things actually have happened. First of all, our Mercury station did not get attacked. Instead, we do have something flying around on Mercury. It took out the initiative station, but not ours, so I'm upgrading to an orbital now to see if we can make this thing survive. However, a bigger problem is this fleet here. So 22 alien ships have started their flight towards our shipyard, or rather the L4 orbit here for the moment. And yeah, we do have 5 battle stations there, so we are not weak. I have to point that out. But they are bringing a Titan, 3 battleships, a battle cruiser, and a lot of stuff. I think that is enough to break through 5 battle stations, but who knows? Furthermore, we do have 5 ships to defend with as well. But what we are going to do now is actually use the time until that happens. So, where's that fleet now? I forgot. So, where's that fleet? So it arrives in December. No, that's the wrong one. Here. In November. Which means we do have about a month of time. And we're going to use this. So fleet number 1 here is going to do things. And we're going to actually tickle the aliens now. This means we are going to the L3 first, because that's the weaker station, to see... No, that's a stronger station. No. I want the weaker one. Which one is that? L1, here. So we're going for the Shimmering Guarding Station here, to see what happens here. And we know that there are 4 ships defending this, but we are going to visit them anyway. So 2.2 days. I think the second alien station with the 3 or 4 layer defense arrays I'm not going to touch because I don't want to risk losing a ship. But for this episode we are going to enjoy one fight. So aliens, by the way, didn't declare war on Earth yet, but that might just be a question of time. And here we go. So we are going to start this battle here and get going with that. So we are going to not use that formation. I think... Yeah, arrow sounds fine. We go full speed, of course, so that our coils do have a little bit of more power. We are relatively decently armored to the front, so that's good. And now we are going to actually distribute our fleet here, shooting at these destroyers, because they will probably fly towards us. And the flagship will also shoot on the dreadnought here. So let's see. Actually, we can't do much here. We can do the lock on, which probably makes sense as soon as the destroyers will start moving here. So they have 1 big ship which is very not agile, and then they have 3 ships which are decently agile. Of course, we are bringing mostly heavy coil cannons here, so, and coil batteries with a lot of point defense, and they have a laser, so that's unfortunate. But for example, these coil shots they are using here, they don't matter to us. But the laser, of course, is something that can hurt us here. And we can see here already that we are shooting coils en masse and even smaller ones now. Question is, will that be enough? So the laser will shoot at us until our first coils get in range. Then they will focus on shooting that down. And here we see that they are starting to shoot on them. And here we can watch their perspective here, where they are trying to dodge our coil shots here. They won't be able to do that forever. So, oh, we got a little bit of damage here, that's not good. Okay, we got a hit on the destroyer. It's more or less, if one of the big shots hits them, they are dead. So... Ooh, now we have a critical hit on the front here. It's bad, but it's not. Okay. Okay, where are we here? So the alien point defense station is also helping out now. Shooting down our coil shots here. 1 destroyer is down. Okay, the destroyer is also gone, so we should realign our focuses here. This one is shooting there as well, and this one shooting there as well. And 1 is still shooting on the destroyer down there, which is fine. And we do have our point defense lasers that you can see here whenever there is some kind of magnetic shot coming close. Which are no threat at all, because we have a massive point defense layer. And now we are probably in range of our small coil guns, which will break through the point defense screen like no time. actually watch this here. And there they are. It's no longer holding, and there we go. Now we are going to see the first hit eventually. There we go. That destroyed the ship. So the next one will finish it off. There we go. And it's dead. So now we should probably shift focus to that destroyer here. And that's also gone, so it's only the point defense array now. We took a bit of damage here though. Unfortunate, but fine. Oh, still not dead. Actually, we can just switch target here. This one is also not going to be able to withstand anything here. There we go, that's it. So now it's just this one here. And it's gone. Perfect, no ship lost. A little bit of damage here. That should be, however, easily recoverable. So we see we do have the point defense and the coil gun got lost, and the reactor went down apparently. So that's unfortunate. But we do have a repair bay on ship, so that's not a problem. There we go. We got 4 exotics, nice. And we do have some metal, some volatiles, that's nice as well. And we got 5 promotions here. That's not a lot, but fine. Could have been more. So now we're going to fly home. Oh, wait a second. First we destroy the head. There we go. And now we fly towards our station again. Don't need to rush this. So 3.5 days is fine. And then we go into repair there. Let's see if that causes any kind of reaction. There we go. And what? Why can't be repaired? Oh, I only went to the orbit, not to the shipyard. That was my mistake. So shipyard here. Wow, it cost me a lot of fuel again a day. Wow. Okay, that was a mistake. That shouldn't have happened. Yeah, but now I'm going to probably jump one of the servant fleets in between.
At your service.
Just to make sure that they are less around in orbit. And probably that's
We'll
it.
restore peace
I
to this
don't
nation.
think I want to jump the gun on the big station there. Repair and resupply would take us 1.3 days. It takes a decent amount of resources. That's fine though.
Offering
Let's do it.
assistance.
Lending my expertise.
And that was our first fleet action here. When we check our fleet and ships here, we now do have, for example, a lieutenant, reduces damage taken, increases repair speed, reduces chances of officer death and combat by 30%. That's really nice. And we do have a lieutenant here, increasing ECM values. That's good. And another flight surgeon here. So all of that quite nicely. If we can get captains, that would be awesome, because that will reduce our mission control from 4 to 3, and then further to 2 up to 1. I think that's a minimum you can get. So if you get captains, that would be awesome. But I do think that the consequence of this will be that they will go to war with us pretty soonish. So that's something we can't avoid anymore. Oh, resupply again as well. And now the big question is what to fight next, which I'm going to do in the episodes, but not between episodes, but in the next episode, which I'm not going to show everything. I maybe show one more fight here. Extreme Earth Orbit, Amalfi Station. Ooh, that takes a long time, so this is nothing we can afford due to the fact that the aliens arrive in... was in October, right? No, in November. So they arrive in November. You could also fly to Tiangong station down there. So this one here. So fuel burn is 12, 14. We could do 1 week. Could do 6.67 days here for 4.8. I think I like this. I mean, the other alien station here is L3, but this one has 3-layer defense arrays, and it has better ships on 3 destroyers. On the other hand, this would be worth it for the exotics. You could stay out of the layer defense arrays for a moment. Laser cannon, plasma battery. Ooh, it has a plasma. Ugh. Torpedoes, laser batteries and cannons, mech batteries. So our ships are not perfectly designed against this. The plasma is particularly evil. But we could focus on them first. Okay, that's a question for the next episode. I'm going to cut it here. So leave a like and subscribe, and let's enjoy our fight on the next episode further. Therefore, leave a like and subscribe, and see you next time.